However, we're going to go ahead and get started. You all, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Getting the Press to Say Yes. It's all about how to be seen, how to become known, how to get paid, right? Using the media, right? Because it's all about getting that media attention so that you can get in front of many and grow your business, grow your brand, and ultimately your bank account, because that's what we're in business for, right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. I am Monique Jackson. You guys will learn about me in a minute, but I want to learn about you first. So welcome. If you guys are not following me, I want you to do it right now. Somebody say right now. Turn to your neighbor and say right now, right now. I want you to go on Instagram because that's where I hang out. And follow me. It's at Monique Jackson, the number one. At Monique Jackson, the number one. There's no dash, there's no underscore, there's no anything else. It's just at Monique Jackson, the number one. So go ahead and give me a nice little follow. That's where I hang out and I do some PR and marketing tips and come live every now and again. I'm going to do that more often, but right now it is what it is. Go ahead and follow your girl, all right? I will say also, as we go along this morning, excuse me if I'm yelling, that's how I get myself amped up a little bit here, right? Start talking loud. But as we go along this morning, please screenshot some things, take pictures of things, right? Take pictures of your notes. Go ahead and tag me on your Instagram story, and I will repost it, right? Because that's how I know that you guys are tapped in. That's how I know you learned. That's how I know what the favorite parts were or what really grabbed your attention or what have you. So go ahead and do your girl that favor, because that's helping the next people that come along behind you guys, because I know what to hone in on. All right. Now, a little bit about you that I want to know. I want to know who you are. So I want to know your name, where you're from, right? What city are you sitting in right now, right? What do you do? Right? How do you serve people? What products do you have or whatever? Type that in the chat or whatever. And then also let me know how long you've been following me. If you're a new follow, just say new follow. That way I know it's kind of been in the last couple of months, right? If you old school, put OG on there. That way I know that it's been a couple of years, right? So, some people are just now finding me because of a live or because they saw my post or because they saw something that hit their Instagram just in the last couple of weeks, right? So if you new follow, put new follow. If you OG, put OG, but definitely let me know who you are and what it is that you do. It helps me better serve you all when I'm going live. It helps me serve you all when I'm on my email, sending out information, because I do teach via email. Some people don't ever open up those emails, whatever, but I do teach via email as well. And so I want to know who you are so that I can understand how better to serve you all. Okay. That's that. Put that in the chat. The other thing that I want you to put in the chat is, what's going to get you excited? When it comes down to press, the whole reason why we're doing press is to get in front of people, to have a call to action. Buy my CD, come to my concert, go see my movie, buy my book, come hear me speak at, so what is it that you want to do? You want to get featured in a magazine? Are you looking to be on your favorite talk show? Tell me what that talk show is, right? Are you looking to launch a product and hit that first 6-figure mark? Hey, 6 figures, y'all go ahead and go. Tell me, let me know what it is that you guys are interested in and why you actually want press, okay? Because Jesus can do it for you. Jesus can do it for you. Jesus can do it for you. Let me say that again. All right, so I want you guys to take out a piece of paper, grab some agua, por favor. Y'all heard me, I'm bilingual. Yes, yeah. So grab some water. Some people like coffee and tea. That's fine too. Don't be doing no liquor. It's too early in the morning. All right. So anyways, grab some water, get somewhere comfortable, because we are going to dive in and we will be here for a minute, right? Hold your questions to the end. I'm gonna say that again. Hold your questions to the end. Write them down on something, right? But there will be a Q&A at the end, and I love to answer everybody's questions. So definitely stay to the end, ask questions, and I'll get to you, all right? Also, we will be presenting you with a nice little offer. It's not a nice little offer. It's a nice big offer. It's a life-changing offer. It's a career-changing offer, actually. So, hold on to your seats and understand that there's something coming at the end, and we will definitely be doing a Q&A. So the rundown is looking like this. We'll talk about who needs press. We'll talk about knowing your why, because that's super important. Your message matters. The pathway to press, 3 simple strategies to yes. Then we'll talk about the getting the press to say yes offer, and then we'll do a Q&A. All right. That's pretty much how it's going down. But first, we'll talk about me, right? Because I love me some me, and I want to thank me, right? You guys, if y'all know what I'm talking about, that was 2 different quotes, right? One was from T.O., one was from Snoop/Niecy Nash. All right. So anyways, my name is Monique Jackson. I am a celebrity publicist. I'm a brand strategist, TV show creator, a transformational speaker. Right there in the middle, I put business builder, because everything that I do has to do with building your business and your brand, right? I've worked at Universal Pictures. I've worked at Island Def Jam. I created a company called Monique Streams Productions, where I create TV shows and help consult with other networks about their projects, right? And then I have something called Monique Consultants, Monique Jackson Consultants, where typically I would say in my pitch that I work with A-list celebrities and Fortune 500 companies, helping them better brand their business and helping them with talent in order to, ultimately get the result that they want for the project. Remix that. Remix that. I don't know why I'm clearing my throat. That's not like I should be going. I should know better than. Let me just stop. Now I can say that for the last 4 years, I have been working with experts, entrepreneurs, and executives, everyday people like me and you, right? Help them get the visibility that they need in order to grow their business and their brand, and ultimately their what? Their bank account, because everybody's in business to make money, right? So I still do what I do, right? I still work with the celebrities, and I still work with the networks and certain brands, right? TV One and I was going to say Ludacris. Yes, I've worked with Ludacris, but Lexus and so on and so forth. But I also, since COVID, have been working with a lot of everyday entrepreneurs like you and I, just helping them get to the next level. Okay. Oh, there go Ludacris right there. Luda. Okay, I don't know why I'm acting stupid right now. But anyways, this is kind of just a little collage of some of the people that I've worked with, right? And a lot of the fun that I've had. There's T.O., there's Keita and I on Terrell's back, because I used to stay on his back about all kind of things, right? There's Niecy Nash, worked with her, girlfriend of mine, and a friend and confidant, and a lot of other things too. She's been that sister soldier, honey. But Brandy is there. There's Brandy again. I already went over Chris, Ludacris, Tashina Arnold and Erica Campbell. We've done some things together, projects with Coca-Cola and Essence and stuff like that, or whatever. Anyways, Russell Simmons, there I am speaking with on stage with Kenya Moore. I've done tours, I've done lectures and things like that. Layla Ali, love her, worked with her for many years, and she's a good girlfriend. And so is Lisa Leslie. And there's Major. This is why I love you. Y'all don't want me to sing this morning, but anyways, I've had a great career, you all, a great career. Still do. I've gotten a chance to work with some super talented people. That's not even half of it, right? That's not even a fraction of it, honestly. And that's not me bragging. That's just telling me how good God is. Somebody put God is good in the chat. Okay. Somebody put God is good in the chat, because that's just telling you how God has been gracious to me, where it stands, over my lifetime, in my career and in my life. Right. But a lot of times I'm able to get from point A to point B because I know what my objective is. I know how to measure a win for myself in my business, right? So that's part of the planning part, right? What is your objective? And your objective really stems from what is your why. Everybody has to have a why. You have to have a why, because if you wake up with no why, then you just kind of letting the day and the life and everything else kind of take over, right? But you have to know your why, and you have to, and that'll kind of be your compass as to what you're, how you're going to get there. Why, what's going to, it's not even it's your fuel. Let me just put it that way. It's your fuel because it'll get you to where you need to go. Your why is going to drive you, it says it right here. It'll drive you harder and further than you ever thought was possible. Knowing your why will become your superpower. Monique, just read the card. Just read the card, okay? Knowing your why will become your superpower. Somebody take a snapshot of that because somebody needs to remind themselves. You might have somebody that you need to text and remind them. What? Okay. Okay. So my why, I'll tell you a little bit about my why. My why, started out because I married the love of my life, right? A guy that I was with from the time I was 19, right? Got married, had beautiful children. Everybody was healthy and happy and wonderful. And we were, a family. I had a girl group and not a girl group, like where my girls at? Like, no. But I have a collection of women that I am friends with that we would play together, pray together, get paid together. Okay. This is Sherry Shepherd. That's there's a lot of women back here, what have you, different people from behind the scenes as well. Calais Stewart is an actress. Aisha is an actress. There's Kamora Lee Simmons. Told you I worked at Def Jam, right? Tracy is a TV producer. That is Niecy Nash. Niecy Nash Betts now. Let me correct myself. That is Kim Whitley back there. There I am in the blue. Don't I look good in the blue? You guys don't look good in the blue. Okay. Well, I thought I did. Okay, and then there's Wendy Raquel Robinson. There's a collection of us, right? And we get down together, right? Like I said, we pray together. We've been with each other through marriages and babies and divorces and remarried and all kind of other stuff, right? It's my girl group, right? So I was living my dream, and then my son got sick out of nowhere. Okay. He literally got sick out of nowhere. One day he was at school, the next day he was in a coma. I'm gonna try to go through this as quickly as possible, but if you pull up the screen, if I was to pull it up, you would see that his eyes are actually open. He's in a coma. He has a diaper on. He's 6 years old at this point. Hands are restrained on both sides. That blood right there is because they put a port in his leg. They were about to do emergency surgery on him. Hooked up to 5 machines and extra monitors and all kind of stuff. And it was a disaster, right? Who's a mom in the chat? Put mom in the chat if you're a mom. But it was a disaster. Right behind that, my husband decided he was going to leave out of nowhere, literally. One day was home. We had a disagreement about where he was spending his time and all of this stuff, but not to go too much into it. But then he told me he was going to his mother's house and just did not come back. But we'll deal with that later. In the meantime, you all, when I'm talking, if you have a question, hold it to the end, and then when I'm telling you like to put something in the chat, make sure you put it in the chat. I saw a couple of people pop on the screen with their hands raised. I don't want to feel like I'm ignoring you. However, we are holding questions to the end, right? But shortly after that, within a year, my other son got diagnosed with the same disease. And so now I have 2 children who have a condition, and I was going through a divorce all of a sudden, right? So when my husband left, I had the kids that I had to take care of around the clock, literally around the clock. My first son went into the hospital September 16th and didn't get out until October 11th. And when we got home, it was a whole change of everything. And then my second son, seriously, 1 week to a year. It was like almost a year. We were 7 days shy of a year. And my second son got diagnosed. So here I am now with 2 kids with this situation. I have a total of 5, but I have 2 kids with this situation and no husband. And he the baby daddy, right? So no real support. Could not work as much as I wanted to. And I You go to your same Target, you go to your same grocery store, what have you. And I had this Target store that I went to all the time, all the time, right? And I was checking. I had my sister come over one night so that I can go get some supplies for my son. And as I was checking out, the cashier was like, your card is declining. And I knew her, so I was just like, no, it shouldn't be. She was like, let me try to punch it in. Punched it in, was not going through. All right. The purchase was only $23, but the card was not going through. And so I thought to myself, oh, it's a bank error, right? So I said, well, let me put the pull-ups back and let me just get the juice and the alcohol wipes or whatever. So I grabbed some money out of my purse or whatever, just some loose change, paid for what I absolutely needed right then. And I went to the car. And before I pulled off, I was like, let me call the bank and make sure, because I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm thinking bank error. That's where my mindset is. Somebody say mindset, because I wasn't a broke person. I was used to making money. So I wasn't thinking, oh, this is like because you don't have any money. I was thinking there's a bank error somewhere. So let me get down to the bottom of this. Long story short, I found out that it was not a bank error. It was an error with my financial situation, honey. I had less than $10 to my name. And here I am going through a divorce with 5 kids. 2 of them are sick. I cannot work. My husband is in the wind, basically. But I had to hold on to my why. Okay. I really did. And I'll say that while I was going through it, and I'm trying to say this without getting emotional, you guys, because I don't know about you, but I know other people who have been stuck and frustrated and know that something should be working, but it just won't click. It won't go. It's almost like the car is good, but the battery just need a jump start. It needs a jump start in order for the car to actually get in motion. And I was desperate for that jump start. I was desperate for it. I was like, what is going on? But in the meantime, I was talking down to myself too. And so you can't do both. You can't serve God and serve the devil. You know what I mean? You can't say, I love myself, but then secretly doing things to hurt yourself, right? And so I knew I had something more, but I couldn't get that jump start. I didn't know how to get it going. And in the meantime, I was asking myself stuff like, you worked at all these companies and, all these celebrities and you didn't made all this money and blah, 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 blah. And how you going to be divorcing now? And how you going to have less than $10 to your name? And how you going to take care of your kids? And, oh yeah, you was doing this before and you was doing that before. Like, I didn't need an enemy. Okay. I was chastising and talking down to myself because I could not make it click. I couldn't get that jump start. But if I could go back and apologize to her, let me apologize to her now, because that was my first time having children that got sick. That was my first time going through a divorce. That was my first time being a mom and not having the financial stability that I was used to. So I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to get through it, right? But I will tell you that doggone Niecy Nash, she would pull up. She would be at the hospital. She would call me. She would, you this, you okay? You doing this? You got to get up. You got to get up. It's okay for you to be hurt, but you got to get up. And I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed because I wanted to stay down. I wanted to, woe is me. But then I also had to respect that she was one of the only women in our girl group that not just went through a divorce, but went through a divorce after 16 years of being with her husband, went through a divorce after having 3 kids, went through a divorce and then remarried that same husband, right? So I had to respect what she was saying, even though I didn't want to hear it, right? But there were little things that got me jump started. Like after hearing her and other girlfriends tell me, you still have it, you can still do it and everything else, then something started clicking. I was like, all right, I know I still have the connections. You know what I mean? He didn't take that from me. My industry connections are mine. My knowledge, right? We all should seek knowledge because nobody can ever take that away from you. So I was like, my knowledge, my experience, that's mine. He can't take that from it, right? And God got me covered if I really just ask for the help and start doing the work. Somebody put faith in works in the comment, faith in works. Because sometimes you got to step out, even though it's hard and even though you don't know what you're doing, even though you know you're taking a risk and a gamble. It's better to take that risk and gamble than to sit here and suffer through something that you've been suffering through for way too long. And a day is way too long if you know better. And if you can just get yourself to trust God, because it ain't about trusting nobody else. It's about trusting God, right? Because God is not going to fail you. And so that's what I started doing. If you look here, you can go down my page, you guys, down to 2018 or so, right? That's when I started going through my divorce and separation and everything else, whatever, when my kid's father. I had something called 100 Women. You go down and look on my Instagram page, and I'm talking about how I am going to do these events. And I would do these events, and I would teach these women. I would book the place myself. I would go to Costco's, go get the water. Y'all see the waters, the snacks. I would go to Kinko's and print out the little pamphlets and the worksheets and stuff like that, all on Monique's dime, to teach people that look like me how to grow their brand and how to really get the business to a certain level. And here I am going through it. But I tell you one thing, if you pour into other people, right, you will feel better. And so I knew that this is something that I had to do, because if I was stuck, then there are other people who are stuck that don't have the resources and don't have the knowledge that I have, right? And so I started doing that. That started getting expensive though, because I started going to different places and not outside of California, and it started getting expensive. So then I started going on to media platforms and telling my story, working on empowering other people, right, through my story. And so there I am on Steve Harvey. There I am on BET, talking, right? Sammy, who is one of my clients. I don't know if you guys know Sammy. Put Sammy in the comments. He's an artist. He's a singer. And he wanted to go back on tour. So I went out on tour, and there he is saying that she's the reason I'm everywhere. And we literally were everywhere. I had him at every radio station, everywhere is right? But he said, thank you for going hard for me, right? I had a client at the time that wanted a TV show. So I was like, let me go and create a TV show for them. I got busy and my money started coming up and I started feeling better, but there was still something that was just nagging at me. It was still haunting me, right? And, one thing I didn't talk about was the night that we went to Target and I couldn't afford the diapers, right? I put 2 big plastic bags, went to the kitchen, cut the 2 plastic bags open and laid them on my bed, and then put 2 sheets on top of it and got my son and brought him into my bed, right? And that night I cried myself to sleep. And I remember asking God, Lord, if you can just get me out of this. If you could just get me out of this, I promise you, and I made so many promises, right? And I remember being in my kitchen and seeing this vision. And I can remember it as clear as day. There was a woman that was on a bridge, and there were other people behind her, and she was coming toward me. And the people were coming toward me, but she kind of just stood out from the crowd, right? And I remember her eyes, I remember her hair, I remember what she was wearing, but I remember the desperation that was in this woman's face. And she was trying to reach out to me, and I started trying to reach out to her, but our hands just would not connect. And they were literally like this close, and they just wouldn't connect. And so after a minute, oh, Jesus, I just remember how desperate I began to be to like get to this woman. And this was a vision in the middle of the day. It wasn't me sleeping. It wasn't me anything. It was just me visualizing it. And I saw this. And I just remember that like bothering me. And I remember that even once I started making my money and started, producing the TV shows again and talking and touring with Sammy, and the money was getting right, and my self-esteem was back, coming back up. I just remember that haunting me. And I remember feeling like I cannot leave whoever this woman is. Like, I have to find her, right? I need to find her because I can't leave her behind, whoever she is. And so I created, I don't want to get caught up in it because I will start crying, because the more I think, let me just tell you this, the more I think about it, it was almost like God was showing me the old me, the one that was just suffering, and the new me and where I was going next. And in that moment, unbeknownst to me, I made a promise that I wasn't going to leave her behind, right? And so even though I have transformed, thank God, even though I'm in a place where I thank God every day now because I was able to rise back up, I still think about her. I still think about her. And that's the reason why when people come on here, you guys, forgive me, but when people come on here and I see the same names and stuff like that or whatever, I'm like, I see you. I see you. Because I know that you back because you still need something from me. I know what it's like to need something to make it click. I know what that's like, right? And I'm grateful every day, you guys, every day. I went through a divorce and I had $7. And I can say now that I have built myself back up in the matter of a few years to where I'm back worth the 7 figures. Okay. And that's not a bragging. That's just me telling you what God can do if you apply yourself. But you got to know, you have to know. And people cannot go any further than what they know. So I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of this program, I am going to offer you an opportunity to work with me. But if it's not me, then doggone it, Google, take notes, get you a different mentor that you can afford, get you something. But even if it's every day that you just learn something more, it's going to start connecting and layering and getting you to a point. Because if you have faith in God, you don't have to trust yourself. You failed yourself before. Jesus knows we all have, right? You have failed yourself before. You've lied to yourself. I've said I was going to be on a diet. I done said that for a year now, 2 years, 3 years, right? Every day I lie to myself and I still have a cupcake or a piece of cookie that I know I shouldn't have, right? They're procrastinator, right? Hesitations. There's self-doubt. There's every day you will lie to yourself. You will disappoint yourself every day if it's you. So it's not even about you trusting you. It's about you trusting God, who allows you to breathe without even thinking about it. It's about you trusting him and then doing the work every day, just a little bit. You don't have to, you guys, I'm sorry I'm going off track, but I'm just telling you this. You don't have to put the pressure on yourself that you gotta go from 0 to $1 million in a week. Whoever told you that bullshit is lying to you. That's not how it works. Okay? Stay off of Instagram and all the other social medias comparing yourself. You get down, you get in these books. Y'all, I'm typing notes. Y'all can't even see this stuff. I'm typing notes and stuff like that for stuff that I'm going to teach to my Facebook group and stuff like that next week. I got pages here because I study, because I want to be able to teach, right? I want to be I hear service constantly because I can't forget about her, the lady that was on the bridge, because I know it's in a lot of you. And that's the reason why I get my ass up at 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday to get ready to teach a class of people that I don't even know. Because it is about understanding that we all can elevate, right? But sometimes we need help. And then even when you get to a place where you're gliding, because I'm gliding right now by the grace of God, you don't forget about when it was you. Because if you keep on living, your turn may come again and you want somebody to remember you. And I know for me, I want God to remember me, but I want God to remember my kids and my grandkids that ain't even born, right? So I'm doing the work. And that's the reason why sometimes, you guys, I will get emotional about it, because my heart posture is all about helping. I have 5 kids. I'm the oldest of 5 kids. I want to help. I am a we person. And so that's that. I'm gonna get off of that. But I'm just gonna tell you that the stuff was still haunting me. And that's how I came up with getting the press to say yes. Because to work with me personally or work with any publicist, honestly, is expensive, right? And so I said to myself, all right, how can I show people how to get press so that they can get in front of their audience and speak to many at one time, right? And have people buy their products and services and things like that. How can I also be of service in that same space where I can be a big sister and help people through some of the trials and tribulations that they're going through, right? How can I show people that it's not just about surviving in their business, right? But actually thriving in their business. There are people that are going to be counting on you, whether it's family members or what have you, that's counting on you to make that money so that you can provide whatever it is, shelter, or what have you, right? I wanted to be the answer for a mom who's trying to buy her house. I wanted to be the answer for parents who want other options and other ways to take care of their kids. And I am all about thriving in life. So I wanted to be that example and that answer to my tribe. And so, yes, I created Getting the Press to Say Yes because it's an affordable way to get celebrity-like press. It's an affordable way to have someone teach you corporate marketing strategies that actually work if you do the work. And then I've been in this industry for over 20 years, right? So, I know I'm a great mentor. I mentor plenty of people, and a lot of people have been successful from being my mentee. I got a whole laundry list of them, honey. Okay. So, are you guys still with me? Because I know I got off track a little bit. Are y'all still with me? Put yes in the comments if you're still with me. All righty. So we're going to be going over, who needs press, knowing your why, your message matters, pathway to press, and then the simple yeses, the 3 simple yeses. And they real simple, so y'all got to pay attention. But first, let's cover what is publicity. So publicity is the notice or attention given to someone or something by the media. It's the giving out of information about a product, a person, or a company for advertising and promotional purposes, right? Why do you need publicity? Why is that important? So screenshot this, you guys, because y'all need to understand that press, publicity, right, is one of the biggest ways to grow your business quickly. Why? Why? I'm going to explain to you why later, but I'll just tell you, it can change your life, right? So who needs press? I say everybody does, right? I don't care if you're an entrepreneur, an expert, an executive, because some people think that they're safe because they have this corporate job. I've had a corporate job or 2 myself, and I've decided to leave because for me, it's better on this side. But I'll tell you later why executives need publicity. But you can be a coach, a consultant, you can be an author, an athlete. It does not matter. It does not matter who you are. Everybody, to some degree or the other, have press, right? And why should you be interested in press? Well, if you're an entrepreneur, an expert, or anyone, right? Anyone who needs an actual a solid strategy to get in front of their audience and convert that audience into other opportunities like sales and things like that, you should be interested in press, right? If you've created something special and you have a unique idea or a useful idea, a book, a product, a service, and the bottom line is that you're ready to share it out with the world, you should be interested in press. If you are interested in turning your fans and your followers into actual buyers, because it's not about being popular, it's about being profitable. Somebody put profitable in the chat, because that's what we're in business for, to be profitable, right? Listen, press can do amazing things for you. It can make you a leader in your industry. You can become the go-to person when they think about I'm just going to say a cleaning cleaning solution, right? You think about Pine Sol a lot of times, right? Because of the commercials and because of the advertisement and things like that, right? I'm going to ask you really quickly, and this is just a game right quick. I'm gonna play with you. If I say tennis shoes, you guys put the brand in that you're thinking about. If I say tennis shoes or sports athletic wear, put the brand in that you're thinking about really quickly. Just put it in the chat for me right quick. In 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to even look at the chat, but I can almost guarantee that more than half of y'all put Nike in that chat because of the branding, the publicity. Publicity is public relations. It's how PR, that's what PR stands for, public relations. It's how the public relates to you. And that's going to affect your marketing, and that's going to affect your bottom dollar, how the public relates to you, right? That's why these campaigns go on when the presidential election's going on. They campaigning, they shaking the baby, they shaking hands and kissing the babies and everything else because they want to relate well to the public. It's all a sales strategy, okay? But publicity will get you in front of your potential clients and customers. Publicity will increase your sales and your growth if you're doing that. If you're becoming the go-to, which is the brand that they think about, if you're now in front of them saying, hey, we're open, buy my water, buy my phones, buy my what have, it's going to convert into sales and it's going to grow your business. It's all about a strategy, but we'll get to that. But let me go back to, because I've shared my why, let me go back to your why, right? I want to ask you about your why, right? But and some people go like, I don't really know my why outside of my kids or whatever. I don't know my why. And the way you're going to be able to identify your why is by understanding what is it that keeps you up at night. When you're laying down in bed and you're thinking about your life or this week and your accomplishments or whatever, what is it that really keeps, there's a trend that's there if you listen to what you're thinking about, there's a trend, right? What's keeping you up at night? What makes you excited, but then also gets you afraid? Like, okay, afraid either like, oh, I can't do that because that's too big, or, oh my God, I have to do it because if not, right? But your why is going to push you to jump in, and it also will push you to finish, right? Knowing your why will help you recognize your tribe, the people around you, because birds of a feather flock together, right? It will help you understand the right opportunities for yourself, because bottom baseline is will this opportunity help me get to this? So it's connected through your why, right? It will help you a lot in your business and in your personal life, right? So think about your why for a minute. Then I want to, let me ask you this first. Have you ever dreamt of being on a media platform, because you know that, oh, if I get on such and such, or if such and such interviews me, then I know I'm going, my business is going to blow up. It's going to explode. It's going, I'm going to be rolling with it. Like, I'll tell you this, right? Because I want you to think about your why. And then I want you to think about the press opportunity, right? Think about your why and then the press opportunity. And I want you to put that in the chat. I always tell my mom, I always use this example because my mother is funny. She is a great writer. She wants to write a book. She keeps telling me, Monique, get me connected with Oprah. Well, girl, you didn't wait for the Oprah show to go off. Oprah don't do too much no more or whatever. The old magazine's not in circulation the way it used to be or whatever. And you want me to get you connected with Oprah. Like, write the book first. But she thinks by being part of Oprah's book club, her book is going to be a New York bestseller. So tell me in the chat what it is that you want to accomplish in what platform. A lot of ladies are always talking about Essence. I can put people in Essence multiple times, right? A lot of guys and girls actually talk about the Breakfast Club. Yeah, been there, done that, then had multiple clients go on to the Breakfast Club or what have you, right? But what is the media platform? And what is the business or service or product or what have you that you want to premiere on there that you feel like is going to help blow you up, right? Level you up to the next level, right? Put that in the chat. And so what if I could show you how to create a successful PR and marketing plan that's going to help you generate free advertisement and press that will grow your company quickly. Would you be interested? Go ahead and put the yeses in there because I know that that's what you're here for. Put the yeses into the chat for me. So some of the clients in the past, meaning students and clients actually, but clients too, right? Have struggled with, am I interested enough for press? I don't know what to do. How much time is it going to take? And I tell them all the time, I have all of those answers. Every time I see Mackenzie, I smile. So meet Mackenzie. She is an athlete. She's a lifestyle influencer. She is a business owner. She is a boss. She's a mommy now. Like I love Mackenzie. But Mackenzie came to me. When she came to me, she was an athlete and she wanted to start a business. She was, a new business owner and she wanted to figure out how to brand herself. You see that hair color? That was one part of it too, right? But we'll get off into that. And she has her products and stuff right back here or what have you, because we were doing a shoot for a magazine. But anyways, Mackenzie said, after working with Monique, I learned how to position myself to press as an Olympic athlete, a lifestyle influencer, a business, and a business owner. Learning how to pitch all three angles gave me an advantage when reaching out to the media because I knew that understanding these strategies would give me 3 times more potential media exposure. Now I can say that I've been able to get write-ups from national magazines, which is true, speak at conferences, including one that former FLOTUS, well, I still call her the First Lady, Michelle Obama, okay? I went to that convention. Mackenzie spoke on the same stage with Miss Michelle Obama and interviewed on reputable talk shows because she has been. And that is Mackenzie, but that's one way. That's one thing that I teach. That's one thing that I provide as a service, as a publicist, but that's one thing I teach too, is how to pull all the angles of who you are so you can enter into different conversations on different platforms, right? Whether it's radio, whether it's magazine or what have you. You can enter into different conversations based on the different parts of who you are, because you're not just one, you're not just one thing, you're multiple things, right? So people think too, well, what makes me an expert? Or, I don't have a large following, or I've never done press before. I don't have all the accolades that you have, or what have you, or whatever. I don't know where to get started. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But the people that I teach are able to learn properly from me and then go out and pitch themselves and get results. One is Lydia. Lydia is a singer. She's an author. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mom. And she was able to go out and get herself press in places like Business Insider, right? Which is, a reputable place. The Washington Post. Those are reputable places, right? And so she was able to do that. Jonte is another one. She's an author. She's a mom. She's a relationship expert. She was able to speak on different panels, get write-ups in different magazines and things like that, because she learned what I taught, went to go apply it, and she used the different methods that were taught, and it actually worked. These are students of mine, guys, people that have gone through getting the press to say yes. Nicole is another one. She's a brilliant businesswoman, and she's an AKA. Right. She's an AKA. And she created a design of luxury travel bags and shoes. And so she was in the New York Weekly. She was in there multiple times. She was in a Los Angeles magazine for luxury stuff. She even was part of the 40 Under 40 when Drake was in there. Right. And so again, students, these are not people that I did the work for. These are people that took the course and end up doing the work for themselves. Okay. So there's work to be done. Somebody put work in the chat. There's work that's out there for you. Right. But if you can just think about this for a minute, you can use what you already know, right? And create multiple opportunities to grow your business. So people talk about multiple streams of revenue. We're going to get down to that in a minute and how press can help you with that. But first, I just want to take a second and share some of these affirmations that that I often say to myself and that that I like to share with my students and things like that. So you guys can take a picture of this and remember these things, but you already have what it takes. So don't doubt yourself, because that's a big one. Self-doubt is a big one. I told you guys, when I was going through a hard time, I was, pouring in self-doubt into myself. That's something that we have to work on daily, is not doubting ourselves, right? And then today, I will stop allowing false truths to stand in the way of my dreams and my business goals. That's important too, because we'll let self-doubt, we'll let the imposter syndrome, we'll let what society says and all of these other things stop you from doing what you know you want to do, right? And so you have to stop that. It takes practice. So, take a picture of those, write those down, send them to me and I'll repost them. But I'm going to show you how to make multiple streams of revenue, as they call it, right? Create multiple opportunities from press. All right. So this is where I get in trouble from a lot of the other publicists out there. They like, you shouldn't be showing them all of this, and they ain't even bought. Okay, no, I'm gonna show you just a smidgen of it, right? So this is one of the strategies that we use sometimes. All right, so Cliff came to me via another publicist, because I do coach other publicists out there, right? So another publicist came to me and she was kind of stuck on what to do with Clifford. And I saw him and I said, the first thing I said was, oh, he's pretty. His makeup was better than mine. His hair was better than mine. His outfit was better than mine. I was like, oh, he's pretty. Okay, got it. All right, cool. So Cliff found out a little bit about him and I was like, all right, let's pitch him for a media opportunity. But when the whole point in having media is to tell people to do something. So I was like, what do we want to do? Cliff had already done some hair shows and things like that. I was like, let's do a tour. Let's do a 10-city tour. All right, cool. So we did the media here. You see this magazine, and we talked about him being a millionaire hairstylist. He was doing a lot of the love and hip hop people, Cardi B and Spice and this one and that one or what have you, Jocelyn and all of the little, the love and hip hop type of people. And so we talked about that in the magazine. We gave people an opportunity to look onto his website, because we talked about that in the magazine. We talked about the tour happening, right? And so I'll tell you about the strategy that we used for the website in a minute. But Cliff came with the idea of, I forgot to say this, he just wanted the blue check when he came. He's like, I just want the blue check, blah, 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 blah. This was before you can buy it, of course. I just want the blue check or whatever. So I was like, all right, let's put him, because he wants to be a socialite, let's put him in social situations. So BET Social Awards are here. We did the magazines. We did a couple of them, a couple of interviews and things like that. Here I am over here getting the press to say yes for Cliff. He was a nobody, and I'm not being funny when I say that, but no one really knew him. He was an everyday, average entrepreneur, right? But I had him walk the red carpet because your girl got connections. But I had him walk the red carpet because I wanted him to get in. This is his audience, young Black women who wear the wigs and want the colors, but put him in front of his audience, right? I'm going to talk about what we did though next. So we got press. We talked about this tour. We gave people opportunities to come onto his website to buy his tickets, right? And then we're going to play the money game, right? Every time I say an opportunity for money, we're going to put an M in there. So M1, you could buy tickets to the event itself, right? And as you see, this was right before COVID, but everybody is wall to wall, even on the back of the walls, everybody elbow to elbow, right? So you could buy tickets to his event. That's money one, right? You could get a meet and greet where he talked to you about your business particular and so on and so forth. So money two. He was not doing regular hair for regular folks because he was all into the celebrities and the influencers and stuff like that. So while he was in the city, you could get him to do your hair. Money three. Okay. I'm showing you how press can turn into money, right? We were doing the tour. So because we knew we were going to have press and we were going to have people, he did not have hair color. So we got him a hair color endorsement deal, right? Money four, right? When you went onto the website, if you weren't able to buy tickets to his event because he wasn't coming to your city, you could buy weave, you could buy hair products, you could buy a wig. You understand where I'm getting, right? So we like at Money 7, all just from, we'll go back for a second, all just back from the media that we were able to get to drag onto his website and start buying a piece of him because of the stories that were being told, the brand stories about his business. Do you guys dig? Are y'all tracking with me? Put yes, yes. Not just one yes, put yes, yes. If you're in here and you're understanding what I'm saying, right? From that, we were able to show a network, because he wanted a TV show that he could sell out from city to city, that he could get press, and was already loved and respected by the media and other social people, other influencers, right? Because we were able to show that and these sales were happening, we were able to tell the network, basically, honey, you got it built in. And guess what happened? We got the show sold. And guess what? He got 22 million in his first season viewership, 22 million viewership. Let me not say dollars. Okay, let me leave it hanging in the air, sound like dollars, but 22 million viewership off of 6 episodes. And this was a person that was not a celebrity, right? But it's all the power of media, right? It's the power of God first. Let me get that right. It's the power of God first, but it's the power of media secondly, right? In this world, it's a strategy that your girl know how to put together, right? And this is what happens, right? So then you're making money, 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 money. Oh, because I didn't even mention, I got up to like 7 different things while I was counting it for y'all, but I didn't even mention the TV show that he got, right? Money-making opportunities can come because it's not just about being popular. It's about being popular and profitable, okay? And that's my word. What is it? I'm standing on my business. I don't know what the young kids say now, but that whatever they say, that's what I'm saying, basically, right? Because it's about passion. What do you love to do? I know I love to teach, right? It's about purpose. What did God put you here for, right? I know I'm here to help change worlds, right? Put press right in between that. And then create a platform, have a platform where you can share it, and then it will turn into profit. That was just one example with Clifford. That was just one example, right? But it's not about being popular. It's about being profitable when you're in business. So let's talk about your message matters, right? And here's what I have to say. Everybody's message matters, right? Your voice is unique. Your brand story is unique. Your life story is unique. And nobody is going to be able to tell it the way you tell it. People need what you are offering. Say that to yourself out loud, on mute though. Say that. People need what I am offering. Say it again. People need what I am offering. People need what I am offering, right? So you have to say that so that you believe that what you have to offer, there is somebody out there that needs it. I don't care if it's a service, a product, if you're talented, right? If you have some information, somebody is waiting for you to show up so that they can hear what it is that you have to offer, right? Because it could be inspirational, it could be educational, it can be transformational. What I do is teach. I know it's transformational, but it's also inspirational. I know it's educational. I know I can cover it all, right? But it's about showing up and sharing it with people and making sure that it resonates, right? So that you can have people that tap into what it is that you have to offer. Then people say, well, how do I get my message out there? And I'm from the old school. So I say any means necessary, right? I tell people all the time, I don't get mad when I see those flyers when I come out of church on my car, on my windshield or whatever, because people out there, you got to promote your business. If you don't promote it, it ain't going to get promoted. If you don't promote it, if you don't talk about it, nobody will. Okay? Somebody put that in the chat. If you don't talk about it, nobody will. So you got to talk about your business. Woo-wee. That's downloading to me. I just heard get on live more, start talking about it more. I'm telling y'all, when I teach, sometimes I'm preaching to myself too. But you get your message out there however you can, from referrals, right? From other customers, from social media, LinkedIn, from family, from friends. That's wonderful. But if you're going to be honest with yourself, that's also slow. Friends and family are only going to refer so many people, and only so many of those people that they refer are going to actually pipe down and give you a credit card or Zelle you that money for that, for whatever it is that you're selling or doing, right? But when you get in front of media, right, and you're having a radio interview, there's hundreds of people that's listening to that radio at one time. So if it's the right audience, they're going to be interested. If you're able to get on the Essence stage and talk about your beauty products, there's hundreds of women in that audience. If you're able to be in Essence, I'm just saying Essence, I don't know why, but Essence magazine, there's thousands of people that's going to read that, right? If you're on the right podcast, there's thousands of people, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people, depending on what podcast it is. Get on a Breakfast Club or Earn Your Leisure or something like that, and you're going to mess around and be in front of a whole lot of people, right? But it's so much better for you and your brand to get in front of a lot of people at one time. Tell the story about your business, tell the story about your life, and watch how it transfers into followers who are actually vested in you and your business to buy, right? And so what happens when you get your message out there, right? It raises your visibility in the marketplace. People cannot think of you if they don't know that you exist. Think about a bag of chips right now. Think about a bag of chips. A bag of potato chips, right? The only reason why that popped in your mind is because you know that brand is available out there right now. And the only reason why you know that that brand is available out there right now is because you know somebody that didn't ate them, or you didn't seen a commercial, or you didn't walked into the grocery store and there's some advertisement for it or what have you. All of that is publicity. All of that is publicity, right? So it raises the visibility in the marketplace. It makes you think about them, right? It makes you think about their services and what they have to offer. It validates you, right, as a leader or an expert in your industry. It makes people feel safe to choose you, because people want to feel safe. They don't want to feel like they're taking too much of a gamble. Now, here's somebody else that I worked with for many, many years. This is and now he's a friend, right, of mine. But when AD came to me, he came to me by way of another person. Because when I work privately with people, a lot of times, whether it's networks and other celebrities and things like that, it's word of mouth, because it's at such high level and such a high cost. I don't publicly say like I'm accepting clients or whatever. You won't really see me. And I say really because I've never done it. I haven't done it, right? Out there in public saying, oh, now accepting clients or whatever, because I don't take on just anybody to work with. However, if I told you who the person was that referred us to somebody I used to work with, another celebrity guy or what have you. And so AD used to be an athlete, and he had this product that he was using because he saw his family getting sick. And so the guy told him, hey, you should talk to my girl, Monique. You know, half of the celebrities that you want to hook up with or whatever, she knows, she's worked with, da, 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 da. So went to the guy's building, went up the escalator. He had an office set aside for me and AD to talk. We talked. And after a while, I started thinking, I was like, you don't need celebrities. He had a list of 30 celebrities that he wanted to have endorse his products. And honestly, 29 of them. There was one person on that list that I either didn't know or hadn't worked with. And so I told him, I said, you don't want that. I'm going to show you how to do it on your own, so you're not relying on those people. And so he was like, I ain't never done press, and I don't know, da, 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 da. I don't want that type of pressure, and I don't want da, 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 da. Well, trust me, if you go Google AD now, right? This was 2014, I think 2013, 14 or whatever, we started working together, right? And we recently just stopped because of a lot of different things, but we're still cool. So anyways, long story short, this is what happened with AD. He said, I knew I had great products, but more people needed to know about my company. At first, I was uncomfortable in front of the camera, and he was. And I thought I needed celebrities to be the spokesperson for my products. Monique Jackson convinced me that I could represent my business better than anyone else. And so I dove in. I'm not going to lie. The first few times interviewing was a little bit uncomfortable, but once I understood my message was important and I mastered the simple strategies, in no time, I loved it. I've had media opportunities that I never thought were possible. People across America and in other countries know me. My company and my business is steadily growing. I love press and press loves me. That's what AD says. And it was true, child. It was very interesting in the beginning, but with a little bit of work, we got there. And now he's arrived. That's all. Because that's the power of PR. So that's all about what your message and how your message matters. I really want to step in and start talking about the press pathways, because there's a lot of different ways that you can get there. And if you really like, it doesn't matter if you've been doing this just for a little while, because there's some people that are new into business, new into speaking, new into a lot of different things, or there's other people that have been doing it just as long as I have. And it doesn't matter. This pathway to press is something that you have to be aware of and know how to use it, right, at different points in your business, right? So I'm gonna kind of take you through it as quickly as possible, right? These are the pathways to press. And there is business website and blogging, guest posting, podcast, radio, social media lives, because social media is another way to get press, right? Magazines and TV. And we'll talk right quick. Having a business website or a blog is a quick and easy way to introduce yourself to the world. What do I mean? I mean that if you have a blog or a business website, people can Google and see that you're open for business, right? Hopefully you on those SEOs, and we'll talk about that later in the class, right? But guest posting is also, it's a fun way, but it can also be one of your first ways of introducing yourself as an expert, right? If you write a guest post, you know, you want to write where your potential audience is, right? So I always tell people it's okay if you sell doggy biscuits. You could write on a Home Depot post, because people with homes sometimes own dogs, but it's better to write on Petco's website, right? Do a guest post there, because people will see that you sell doggy biscuits and they're already in the mindset of buying the doggy biscuits if they're on Petco. So podcast, radio, social media lives, they're a great way to get in front of your audience and connect, to show your personality. You can take a deeper dive, because a lot of times those interviews are a little bit longer than TV and stuff like that, right? Those podcasts can go for a while, and you can really share your brand and your story. Magazines traditionally are higher up on the press pathway, because the process is longer, and the interview needs to happen. But traditionally now, like, people are not taking the time to wait for the interview to happen, for the magazine to get printed, for the magazine to go on the shelves or whatever. A lot of times people are taking those magazines, those .coms, the essence.coms, those source.coms, Oprah has oprahdaily.com, right? And so oprahdaily.com. And so so the magazines, if you're looking to be inside of an actual magazine, the physical magazine, right? The physical magazine, then you want to make sure that it's specific for something, and that it's for a specific purpose or a specific season or something like that. And we get into that more so in the class. But TV is still gold for a lot of people. People love the talk shows. People love say they want to be on Sherry, they want to be on J Hood, they want to be on, The View, they want to be on Good Morning America, those type of things. And that is great, because we know that once you get in front of that audience, it's a massive audience, and it validates you, especially when there is a celebrity or a credible person sitting right next to you, talking to you about your business or your story, right? It validates you, and it can tap you into opportunities that you didn't even see coming. Trust me, it's happened for me, and it's happened for a lot of my other clients, right? Now, I'm sharing with you this board, and it's not really even a brag board. It's just to show you, honestly, that I am not new to this. I am true to this, that if it's worked for me, that it can work for you. I have a variety of different things on here with different dates to showing you, like, look, I've been doing this. This is something that I can do literally in my sleep. Magazines, talking to news stations, on with Steve Harvey. I've been on The Doctors. I've been on Wendy. I've been on several talk shows or what have you, but Steve made it. Several podcasts. I done walked a whole bunch of red carpets. I've been in Essence magazine and different entrepreneur magazines, but Black Enterprise and Madame Noir and HuffPo. The whole purpose of showing it to you is that if I can do it for myself, and I can do it for my celebrity clients and my other personal clients that I work for. And then I showed you earlier how other students of mine, Lydia, R. Nicole, Jonte, and there's so many other ones that can get it done, then you can too. Just say, I can too. I can too in the chat. Let's talk about these 3 simple strategies. I'm going to try to go quickly, right? The 3 simple strategies can help you land media. It can help you skyrocket your brand. It can help you stand out from the crowd and get opportunities that your competitors wish they had, okay? It's called the CUT methodology, and it's really simple because I created something that's called CUT because it's like cut straight to the chase. We ain't got time. Right. And speaking of having no time, journalists don't have time to read a 3-page essay about how your grandmama and them used to call you this and why you got this nickname and how you named this after your cat that you first had. And they don't want to hear all of that. They want to know who you are, what you do, and how you're going to serve their audience. That's really what they want to know. All right. So you can do yourself a favor and cut straight to the chase using this methodology. And at least you will see engagement improve with you and the media outlet that you're trying to get featured on, right? So C is for create. Create traffic for the outlet. The only reason why they want to have you on there is because you can create the traffic for them, right? So when you're sending the pitch, the first thing is that you want to send that headline, that subject line. You want something to be catchy or creative or controversial or something that creates some type of curiosity so that that journalist or that show booker for the talk shows or what have you will click, because they're getting so many other pitches coming in that your subject line needs to be creative and catchy enough for them to click. That's one thing, okay? U is for unique and unusual. Now you didn't have them click. Make sure that pitch, that 2-page, 3-page, I said page, Lord, forgive me. That 2 to 3 paragraph pitch, right, is something that has an unusual spin. I use this one a lot, but I'm going to use it just because my hair is shot. But okay, there's a lot of people that sell wigs and sell weaves and stuff like that, right? Okay, but how about you talk about, I'll just give you an example. Yours is a little bit different because you donate part of the proceeds to some cancer research, the Susan B. Komen or somebody like that, right? You create wigs. For every wig that's sold, you create another wig that is 100% human hair that's hypoallergenic proof and this, that, and the other for people who are suffering from alopecia, whatever. So now you're connecting a cause to it or whatever that makes it unique, right? So you want to do that. You also want to tell, T is for tell. You want to tell a compelling story that's going to add value, right, to the audience. It's going to educate them, inspire them or something, but it's going to resonate with that audience and evoke an emotion in them. And then you always want to have a call to action. Somebody put that in the chat. Call to action. Call to action. Call to action. You have to tell them once you've got their attention, you got to tell them what you need from them, right? Go buy my CD, purchase my hair, come see me at this event. Call to action. That's the whole reason why you didn't gather that whole audience, is to tell them, this is what I need from you, right? We're going to keep on talking about press because that's what we're here for. So I'm going to tell you guys really quickly about Sammy, if y'all don't mind, and how we got press and how we put him in a position where it was very profitable, right? So we're going to play the money game one more time because I want you all to take away from this that if you use the strategies that I'm teaching, if you sign up for the course and get into the class, right? Because it's a live class. I'm here like this, teaching you every week, right? And if you use these strategies, sign up for the class and stuff like that and make it work, it will work for you. It will work, right? Somebody that I follow who's a mentor or whatever said that it has to work or it has to work. That's all it is to it. But let's get to Sammy right quick, okay? Who likes candles in the building? Who likes candles? I love candles, right? So I know that there's a particular type of woman that like candles. Mostly everybody like candles, but we used Essence because if you see here, it says home only at Essence. We used Essence, told a very compelling story about Sammy, which was the truth. It was a very vulnerable conversation that we had and what have you, right? And we launched the candles, right? We talked about the candles in the story. Not one, not two, not three. It took four times for the manufacturers to release the candles before they did not sell out. The first time it was like hours. The next time it was like hours again. The next time it was like a couple of days. The candles, it took 4 times us restocking the candles with the manufacturer before they were in, like we could be good without panicking. All right. That's money one. All right, that's money one. All right, so BET, we know BET is going to take Sammy when we pitch him because he is an entertainer and, he's super cute. Look at those pictures, right? He had just got off of a modeling gig and he wanted to talk about his music and modeling, right? All right, so we did that. Sammy did this interview, and not only did he get offered more modeling gigs, he also flew out to LA where he shot a pilot to be featured in his first acting gig, right? So that's money 2, 3 right there. So we in M3, right? Hype hair. Usually girls are doing hype hair, right? They're doing the hairstylist and you see the singers in there and everything else. Sammy has the hair, he has the beard and all of that stuff or whatever. We did something about some of the hair oils and stuff that he uses and what he uses to keep his skin glowing and all of this other stuff, right? What ended up happening? He ended up getting curls, Mayel, Eco, Camilla Rose, shoot. And then what did I just say? I said the other 3 right here. So that's money 7 already, right? Okay. Entertainment Tonight. It's a big platform. A lot of publicists, a lot of promoters, a lot of business managers and stuff watch Entertainment Tonight nightly. I'm sure you guys watch them. Shout out to Kevin Frazier and Nichelle Turner. Those are my people, right? But we did an interview on him because this was back when the Millennial Tour was happening. The Millennial Tour did not invite him out. And he was like, how could he be left out? He's one of the kid, performers and this, that, and the other. This is his group, this is his audience, right? So what ended up happening was, we're on money 7 before we even get here, right? What ended up happening is that for the first time in Sammy's whole career, he decides that now he's going to put together a tour. So I do something strategic, get them to interview him. And so we sell out the tour. We sell out the meet and greets. We sell out merchandise, right? He's invited to do club walkthroughs on the tour, right? On his own tour, right? He's able to employ other people, which we ain't gonna even count that as money for him, but that's a blessing for him because he's able to employ other people. But then the Millennial Tour ends up calling him because they realize that he's selling out his own thing. So Millennial Tour end up calling him. So that's like 5, and even probably more than that I'm forgetting, just off of this one piece of press, right? 5 opportunities. So if we add up the 7 and 5, like we somewhere at 13 or something, just because we're able to strategize with certain press to get the results that we need, right? I got 9 on here, but I know when I'm talking, this is just like a gauge. When I'm talking, there's all these other opportunities that are coming up, right? Because it's all about profit. Somebody put profit in the chat because I want you guys to believe and understand that you can make profit from this. You can help somebody, help somebody and make profit. All right. But I want you guys to understand too, like it just in life, and I'm talking about publicity when I say about accepting, adjusting, and adapting, but just in life, period. Sometimes you got to understand that you have to accept where we are. You have to adjust to the circumstances and the situations and, really adapt and take it on as your own because the world is constantly changing. So is publicity. So is the way we get marketing. So is the way we're making money these days. It is. And so we have to get into that. Like, if you think about it, over the last 2 years, we've uploaded more content onto the internet than what we have in the last 3 decades. So you're like 2 years versus 30 years, right? That's how quickly things are turning over. That's how much information is coming at us at one time, right? Statistics probably didn't change since I've done this slide, right? But this means that the world needs to hear from you. There's no way the media outlets can keep up with that much information. The internet is on 24/7. So blogs and .coms, magazines, online, radios, podcasts and stuff, they need to hear from you. Your audience needs to hear from you. Media needs you. And that's just what the truth is. And the tripped out thing about it is before you had to be in LA, you have to, come to Hollywood to get your interviews. You had to be in New York, you had to be in some type of city. But honey, this virtual thing have gotten really real since COVID. So everybody is on the same playing field. So you do not have any excuse. You can be anywhere in the world now and get press. This is just a board to show you that I know what I'm talking about. Just 2 months ago, I had one of my clients do an interview, right? Typically, we would have had to be in LA or Atlanta in order to get like a good rolling out interview done. Now, guess what we're doing? We're doing it virtually. We're doing it virtually because that's what's happening. It's one of my clients, Nakima Levy-Armstrong. She is an activist and an attorney. She was on this documentary with Hulu. She's a phenomenal woman. Another one of people that I work with who I know and love very well, Layla Ali, virtual. Sammy's done some virtual stuff. Lisa Leslie, Elise Neal. It goes on and on and on because virtual, that's how we communicating right now, right? So there's a real thing. So now, I really want to talk to you about the program, but I want you to understand that this is who I'm looking for to work with, right? I want to work with people who understand that, yes, they want to be popular. It's okay to want to be popular, but you also want to be profitable because I stand hard on getting the business done, right? If you want to be in front of thousands of potential buyers, not people that are just going to be looky-loo, right? Some you will get the looky-loos, but people that are going to buy from you. Right? If you want to really look at your business and say, how can I create more opportunity for my business and myself to grow? Right? Because ultimately, when you do that, then your bank account will grow. Once you decide that you want to grow and that you want to grow your brand and really do the work, then your business will grow. Your bank account will grow, right? The people that I'm looking to work with, right, in this class, I want someone who is saying yes. I want strategies from someone who is credible because I don't play with my reputation and my credibility, right? I want someone who is going to hold me accountable. Like I said, I am the big sister of 5. I'm the mama of 5, and I will lecture you with love all through your life, honey, but I'm going to hold you accountable for what it is that you do. If you committed, then I'm committed right along with you. But I want people who are saying, yes, I'm committed to growing my business because I'm standing on a promise that I have made to myself. This year is new and your life could be unrecognizably better if you decide that that's what you're going to do. Because once you decide, God will step in and God will send the resources. God will send the right people. God will send what it is that you need. Because honestly, you already have what you need. There's no coincidence that you woke up this morning. God had you on the list. It's no coincidence that you decided to get on here. And even if it was just to hear me say a word about God, you are on here for something, right? But you have to know inside of you that you want more, that you want to do more because you want to become more. I have a hunger in my body to help people that want that for themselves, right? So let me tell you a little bit about the program. And I can tell you all of this, but at the end of the day, honestly, what I will tell you is it works. If you work, it will work. And that's just the bottom line. So there's 8 modules because it's an 8-week program, right? There are bonuses that I have. I have the modules. I teach live. I don't, there will be replays for the actual class because everybody won't be able to catch all of the class or all of the dates. So there are replays that are there, right? But you get me. You get an email to get in touch with me. You have a phone number to get in touch with me. I like creating community and I love to lecture. So I'm not going to talk about all of these things. I'll talk about what we talk about or what I teach. The first module, and I teach it a certain way, I'll say this, so that you can layer it, so that you can understand one thing to the next. It's almost like a math problem, right? You got to understand addition and subtraction before you understand multiplication, before you understand division, before you can go to algebra. So I layer it in a way where you understand it, but you can use these pieces, and this is what's important. You can use these pieces in life and in business. Everything that I teach, you can teach, you can use it if you're, Lord, I thank you. You can use it in life and in business. And I'm not going to go too far into that, but you can use it in life and in business, because that's how I created this. I created this from a place of, I know what it is to be frustrated, and I know what it is to be trying to figure it out. And I know what it is. Like, God gave me this to create when I was going through a hardship, or when I was coming right out of a hardship. So it was fresh on my mind. Okay. So mindset and motivation is one thing. And it really is about what's standing in between you, right, in your dreams. And we really work on making sure that you're clear of that, right? So it's some self-work that you got to do. We really will dig into understanding your why, planning your how, and taking action now. Somebody say action now, action now, action now, right? Because you really do have everything that you've dreamed of. So it's like, let's go get it. Module number 2 becomes your mission and your message. You need to understand what your mission is. You need to understand how to convey it out to the audience, right? And so it's really learning how to master your message, how to move the masses, and how to create a campaign. Your PR campaign becomes a movement, right? And so we really do talk about that. Media is number 3. We stay on media for a couple of weeks because that's what we're here for, right? And it's really understanding how to connect with the media, because they do need your content. But we want to make sure that when you're pitching yourself as a credible person that's going to be reliable and have extremely valuable information for their audience. And so it moves you from just asking, you don't become a pick me. You be doing yourself a favor if you choose me. And this is why. So we really develop your 30-second pitch. We really work on your press kit. We really work on that targeted media list, so that you're just not throwing spaghetti at the wall and just throwing arrows in the dark, right? So marketing is another thing that we work on, because everybody here desires to have a bigger business and a bigger brand. When you have a big brand, then it does not matter if you are selling, I'm trying to think of somebody. I don't know why Michael Jordan came to mind, but let's just use him for a second or whatever. He's Brand Jordan. Let's start there. But let's start off at first, he was great with college. Then he became great in basketball. Then they did the shoe after him. Then after they did the shoe after him, he then ended up starting his own brand. It's like if Michael Jordan said that he was going to do something today, his fans are following him. I don't care if he's talking about opening up a burger joint. If he gonna cut the ribbon ceremony for a burger joint, Jordan fans will be there. You know what I mean? And he's an athlete, but he's going to sell out a burger joint because people love his brand, right? So that's just what it is. So marketing is a big part of that, is understanding how to build a brand that people will follow you. I don't care if you're selling a book or you selling, whatever it is, right? People are going to buy it because of your brand voice, and they resonate with who you are, right? Tabitha Brown is one that's big on that. I know her and I love her, and she is the same person in person as she is as you see her, right? Somebody put 5 in the chat. Somebody put 5 in the chat, because this is one of my favorites. 5 is all about monetizing. We in business, okay? So we have to monetize. Otherwise, it's just a hobby, right? And hobbies are fun, but hobbies, we want to have a life that we love. Somebody put life that we love in the chat. Somebody put life that we love in the chat. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. I pray that for you all, that you have a life that you love, that you're able to experience for a long stretch of time, a life that you love, a life that you love, a life that you love. I pray that for you. Okay, stay focused, Monique. So module number 5 is about monetizing. It's like you got the media, okay? You have the media. Now, how do you take that media and position it so that you have you're being able to capitalize off of the media? You're able to get that sponsor. You're able to promote your event. You're able to really, there's an art to influence, and there's an art to how you use the impact that you have in order to create income, right? So there is an art to that. So I will really show you how, like, you got the media now, you really are about to be looked at as a thought leader. You're really going to capture more attention and start converting those things into sales. There's a whole art to it, right? And then module 6 is really about momentum, because you'll get the media, you'll know how to speak in public, you'll be selling some things, but then you figure, okay, well, how do I scale this up, and how do I keep my energy up? And that's the reason why mentorship is important, because sometimes you still need people to push you. So it's really about putting some final touches on your EPK. EPK is an electronic press kit, guys. Electronic press kit. There used to be a time when I worked at Jeff Jam and Universal, we would have to take a photo and a resume and a bio and a photo, right? And we would have to take this product, if that's what they were selling, their CD and everything else or whatever, package it, put it in a manila envelope, mail it out. It was a whole process. Now, thank God for modern technology, because you can take all of that, put it on something cute, and email it out right then and there. So we work on creating an electronic press kit that's going to help you scale now at that point, right? We work on recording your actual video reels, right? That you can include. So your speaking reels, your video reels, your interviews, and things like that that you've gotten. We work on working on that. We create together different pitch letters that are going to have you take your business to the next level. When you talk about partnerships and sponsorships and things like that, right? There are bonuses. We usually do the bonuses toward the end of the course. Like I said, the course is 8 weeks, and then we usually do the bonuses toward the end. But there are bonuses talking about traditional and current. Really, 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 this is a great time for you all to understand the media landscape, like, because it's constantly changing. And this is like media training in depth, like, right? So you have a media interview. We will go over fire rounds and hot seats and things, and have people in hot seats or whatever, where I'm asking questions and making sure that you've sharpened certain skills or what have you, right? And that's just not only for media, that's speaking in rooms. That's when you're presenting in the office, right? When you're going up if you're thinking that you want to get a promotion, I'm just going to say, for people that are C-suite executives and things like that, you want to get a promotion, you need to be able to present a certain way where it shows that you're a leader. It shows that you can articulate what it is that you want for you, your team, and the company. There's a way to speak. And so that's what you get with that media training, right? Then it's leveling out the playing field. This one is really fun, because what I usually do is I have people from I've had people from Entertainment Tonight. I've had people from Forbes. I've had people from Black Enterprise. I've had people from the Steve Harvey Show and other like talk shows and things like that come on to and talk to you guys live and in person, do Q&A, but go over different strategies on why they choose certain people to interview and be guests on talk shows, to interview on their radio stations, and so on and so forth, or whatever. What are they looking for as the booker? How can you get in their good graces? And the real key thing about it is, the reason why I do it this way is because I want them to be familiar with you. So then when you get ready to pitch, you can say, hey, you taught Monique's class, I'm one of her students or whatever. Guess what that do? Pushes you up a little bit to the front of the line. At least they're going to open up your email and read it. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, that means you didn't pay attention in class. That's a whole nother conversation. But I do that because community is important. Community is important, right? And it's worked. It's worked. If you look at my past students, if you ask somebody that was a student, it has worked. There's other bonuses that I give out too, because I don't want to leave you hanging. I want you to be able to get media. So we create 20 active, and I say active so because people move around so much, so it's constantly being updated. 20 active press opportunities. Journalists and things like that, where you have press contacts, right? And so you get all of this in the general package, right? You get all of this in the general package. So you get a lot. You get the course, right? The 8-week course. You get a workbook. PDFs. We're in a Facebook group, all of those things, all of the personal contacts. But personally, I will say email and text messages are super key. But some of the other bonuses that we're doing outside of the bonus classes that we're doing, we also are now, you get a one-on-one call with me. Why is that important? Because in that call, we'll spend about 30, 45 minutes or so on that call, carving out what it is that you really want to accomplish in your business. Why is that important? It's important because then as you move along through media, I can give you other ideas on how to convey that to the people that you're pitching to, and how to get the press to say yes to you even more, how to package that so that it is transforming your business in your life. Honestly, that's what the strategy call is about. That's why it's called the strategy call. There's something else that I'm doing again this year. I'm doing a face-to-face mastermind for 2 days in LA in August. It'll be toward the end of August in Los Angeles. And so when you purchase this ticket, or when you purchase your course, right, then you're automatically given a ticket, a 2-day pass to come on in. And then, of course, the extra bonus is because you guys have stayed the all the way through, then there is a $500 discount off. And then there's, if you pay in full, and then there's also something called Afterpay, where we have set up services for payment plans, right? Now, there is one thing that I love, and I don't know about you, but I love VIP. Somebody say VIP. Somebody say VIP, because I love VIP. So VIP is this, and I'm really excited about the VIP because I've thrown in a lot of things. There was somebody that took the course already, like back in 2020 or 21, that came on last week when I offered this, because this was my first time offering it last week. And they were like, hold up, why this wasn't available to us when we did? Da, 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 da. She literally called me after the class, and she was like, it was good, but I don't understand why you didn't have da, 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 da. It was hilarious. So anyways, the VIP, somebody put VIP in there because that's the way we need to go. All right. So VIP, you get the course. You get all of the bonuses. You get a one-on-one strategy call with me where I am going to break down what your real goals are and figure it out, help you figure it out, right? But you also get the 3 pitch angles. Remember, if you think about what Mackenzie was talking about when she was saying that, she's an athlete, she's an influencer, she's a this, she's a that, and how it was able to shape what it was that she did, and was able to get her all of these different opportunities, because she can enter into this conversation, by way of saying she does this. She can enter into this conversation by way of saying she does that. I help you. Well, honestly, I'm the leader in this part, right? So I craft out your personal pitch angles for you, right? I pull those out. In the VIP, you get 3 pieces of press, 3 pieces of press. So I will set up interviews. I pretend to be your personal publicist. I say pretend because trust me, I am not your personal publicist for this amount, but we're in business together. So that's why I call it an almost done for you, right? Because I am doing the pitch angles. I will set up the press for you. You will have 3 pieces of press. You'll get 30 media contacts that are friendly to what it is that that will be interested in what you have, right? You still get to come to the masterclass that's in person in Los Angeles, but then you also get 6 additional trainings from me and my expert friends. And when I say this, I mean me and my expert friends. These are the same people that I use for social media for my clients. These are the same people that teach me about ads and things like that, right? These are the same people that have coached me through certain things. There's a business therapist that I have used, right? That I have my son using right now because he's young in his business, right? So there are people that have been instrumental as I grow, and even as I was stagnant, that you will be introduced to, and that will teach a free class to you all, right? And so there are plenty of pros when it comes to the VIP. I personally have outdone myself when I say I'm getting you 3 interviews, because that don't happen for this price, right? Typically. And where they do that at. And I'm helping carve out your angles. So you can literally take those angles and start pitching them in other places. And I'm giving you the media context. So I'm going to be quiet and I'm just going to say that you should go to gettingthepresstosayyes.com. Oh, this is Gia Peppers. Gia Peppers is someone who I worked with for years. I don't even know why this is here, but clearly, she was a journalist looking for for more PR for a project that she was working on. And so I was able to, for the first time, get her in Forbes and the Breakfast Club on Afrotech. She was able to speak and so on and so forth. So these are just a lot of other opportunities that other clients and students have been able to get. But let me get back to this part because it's really about you right now. And if you have been suffering in your business, if you have been struggling to come up with opportunities to make money, or if you're cruising and you're good, but you know that there's a next level for you, right? If you want to revamp your business or what have you, I am here to help. Here's the thing that I need for you all to do. I need for you to say yes to yourself and then go to Getting the Press to Say Yes. Denise, can you put that in the chat? Can you put that in the chat for everyone? And then I want to, you know what? Actually, Denise, I want you to, can you go there for me right quick to Get in the Press to Say Yes?
Will do.
And then share your screen because I want to show them what it's going to look like. And then you guys, if you have questions, go ahead and start raising your hands. Put the raise your hand emoji up and I'll start getting to questions. But Denise, once you get to Getting the Press to Say Yes.com, somebody put that in the chat room so that people can click if you don't mind. Let me try to put it in the chat myself. But I want you guys to go there and check it out. There are payment plans there. Getting the Press. I'm a slow typer. Ooh. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So as you can see, there's the Elevate package, which is the general package, which is still a great package. And then there is a VIP, right? I can't scroll. So if you can scroll up for me or what have you, right? Go ahead and keep on scrolling because I just want to get to those are the one-time payments. Slow down. Bring it back for a second. Those are the one-time payments up at the top. But if you go down, if you keep on scrolling, go ahead and scroll. There is a 3 payment breakdown for each one of them down below, right? And then the payments that are due. Okay, go ahead and scroll right back up to the top. I apologize. I'm gonna take the screen back. Those payments, there are payments in there and there's one-time pay. And that's really what I wanted to show you what it looks like, right? I'm going to get off the screen. This will stop. I want to put, oh shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. Okay, so this is where you should go. Denise, if you can help me find the people who have questions.